Hey guys, how you doing today? My name is Brendan Bromley, and we are back with another episode of 31 Days of Horror. Now, with today's movies, what are they? The two silent era movies again. Two of the more famous ones also from this era. They are The Phantom of the Opera and easily, probably the creepiest out of all of these movies, for me at least, Haxan, or Witchcraft Through the Ages. And, well, without further ado, let's get into the more famous out of these two, Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera, released in 1925, follows, well, here's the thing. Everybody knows the story of the Phantom of the Opera. No, but for real, like, if you don't actually know what the story of the Phantom of the Opera is actually about, you're kind of living underneath a rock. But, living underneath said rock, let me explain. It's about this woman, she's an actress, and well, here's the thing, this pianist, okay? He is a pianist, and he also is a singer at the same time. He kind of takes a liking to her, and even falls in love with her. And well, when she gets closer to him and he finally shows her who he really is, she denies him, and therefore he goes on kind of a revenge tale against her and her lover, kind of, not necessarily lover, but just someone else who also is in love with her. And it's kind of like a tragic love story, if you know what I mean. That's the basic gist of it, and it's just overall a really sad tale. And well, it's a musical. But then how the hell can a musical even take place during the silent era? Well, that's it. You just don't make it a musical. You just make it a movie, which I gotta give props for, because this movie is incredibly progressive for its time. With all the movies beforehand, we had always seen some form of color in there. But here's the thing, we never saw multiple colors all at once. Sure, we might have seen grays, whites, and blues all together at once, but we never saw multiple colors. That's when the Phantom of the Opera comes around and says, listen up, asshole, we can do that shit. And we saw colors like reds, oranges, yellows, and even greens a little bit finally come into fruition in the silent era. And this was a huge mark, because without color film, I guarantee no one would be watching movies as much as they are today. And luckily, this movie pioneered what was basically the beginning of the color era for horror movies. Now, what else is there? Lon Chaney. You are one scary-ass bastard. He is also known as the Man of 1,000 Faces, considering he would do his own makeup. And Lon Chaney's performance here is absolutely tremendous. This is a man born for the silent era. His face is totally emotive. And it sells every bit of emotion, even though it is very over the top, because there's not much you can do if you can't even speak, so you gotta be very over the top with your emotions. But he does a really good job, and he's actually equally as scary. But he did it for the makeup, as he made his nose go up, so that way his nose looked more skeletal and stuff, and his Phantom is truly a creepy Phantom, and Lon Chaney does a great job, as does all the actors actually in this movie, with Lon Chaney obviously being the standout. The ending to this movie is pretty decent, obviously with him tricking the crowd, thinking that he's got like a bomb or something, and then he goes like, ha, I fooled ya, and then we realize it's not, and then they pounce on him and beat him to death. It's, the ending's really good, but it's also very sad at the same time to see such a tragic character get what actually comes to him. But yeah, it's kind of besides the point. This is a very progressive movie that influenced many people to come forward in history. And this is the beginning of what I would say is the true mark of the American horror movie. I would say that this is the beginning of the American horror movies. And you know what, guys? Because of it, I'm going to go ahead and give The Phantom of the Opera a 9 out of 10. Now on to the creepiest fucking movie I'm gonna have to review for this goddamn shit. Haxan, or Witchcraft Through the Ages. What is it even about? Well, Haxan, Witchcraft Through the Ages. It's basically a documentary talking about witchcraft, demonology, and a whole bunch of these Satan worshipping stuff, kind of like black magic stuff throughout England, and all these folk tales and stuff. At first the movie was kind of boring. It's actually kind of a boring movie at first. But here's the thing, there are 7 tales in this movie that it tries to portray, the first 2 being really boring. But by the 6th or 7th tale, Trust me, it gets really freaking creepy. If you thought the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Nosferatu had creepy imagery, imagine both of those monsters, except now they're the devil, they're demons, they're witches, and like this is a movie they had the balls in 1922 to show a witch throwing a baby into a pot of boiling water to cook it and eat it. What? I can't get over that. This movie is horrifying to kind of like think about. The depictions of devil and hell and like the pig heads and shit, it's scary. It is really, really scary. Especially with all of the weird imagery that we get. And I'm not just talking about the demons here, I'm talking about the humans. These humans have some really weird imagery of them like bowing to trees and shit, and it's only like their shadows. It's really creepy. And it actually it's sufficiently creeped me out, which is something I never expected this movie to really do. Now, as I said, the movie at first is pretty boring. But after those first 2 or 3 stories, it picks up. And it picks up big time with some really creepy images that will surely leave a lasting impact. But because of the fact that mainly the first act is pretty boring and pretty slow, I'm going to give Haxan Witchcraft Through the Ages a 7 out of 10. Alright, so guys, there you go. We just went over the movie Phantom of the Opera and its partner of today's episode, Haxan Witchcraft Through the Ages. Well, there you go. My name is Brendan Bromley. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, whatever day, evening, night time you're watching this. And actually, what the hell is the next episode? 1 second. Ah. Oh shit! What is it? What is it? Ah! Ah! Come on! Hold up the shit! Hold up! Hold up! Ah! It is... Oh, shit! Huh! 2 Italian horror movies. Don't Torture a Duckling and Blood and Black Lace. We're gonna have fun with those movies, though. Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Whatever. My name is Brendan Bromley. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, my God. This is